The hidden psychology of 2D platform design, building better animated platforms. So when you really think about it, building a 2D animated platform is like constructing a real building, okay? Let's dive deep into how this works with 2D game design. When it comes to the concept and purpose, we want to understand who the building is for and why we're deciding to build the building in the first place. Another thing would be in 2D game design, we would understand whether that platform has a certain mechanic, whether it's time driven, whether it serves a certain challenge based on what it's practically used for. Okay?
Now what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna duplicate it. But look, there's lightning. Come on, work.
When it comes to site analysis, we observe things such as the soil, climate, environment, and how our building would fit into its surroundings. We want to know whether the player would be overwhelmed, where the platform would exactly sit within the level, and the mechanics that exist around it. As in, once I reach that platform, do I jump to another one or do I move back another one? Okay? And it's basically the before sequence and after sequence. Before I touch the platform and after I leave that platform, what is exactly going on would be another thing to really question about in 2D gaming, just like how you have surroundings with the building inside the real world environment with the art.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna merge with the layer below. And we're gonna make this look like lightning. Watch this. Actually, I can duplicate it so we can make another one for the animations. Oop. You see this one right here? We're gonna make it lightning. What you gotta do is change the opacity or make it less. We're gonna make it look like lightning like this. Man, that lightning look a little weak. Let's make it look a little bit strong. Let's put it to 35. Look, lightning. Zap. But we gotta make it look different too. We're gonna do it as an animation.
In architectural design, we have things such as floor plans, circulation flow, and spatial movement, which are all factors indicated with doing such. And with game design, this can relate to how wide or long our platform is, as well as the jump distance that's required to reach that platform. So it's mainly about it being a movement decision instead of just an object that we want to enforce on the player. The same way how we make informed decisions about such an architecture.
If you want to continue the electrical animation, you can try doing something like this. Make it zappy, and then make it super zappy like this. Put another layer though. Let me make this zappy. Hold on, folks. Alright, let's make this a little zappy. 3, 2, 1, go. Make it a little bit zappy like that. got an empty one here. You see, what we can do with this one right here is, if we want to increase that animation, we can, you see these teal green stuff, we can do something like this. The opacity is still less. And then we can slowly build up and build up and build up and build up. See, and we say we got another one right here. No, I don't want to merge. Oh, thank you. I want to duplicate. We're gonna take this one. Let me just use the same one. They all look the same anyway. What we can do, ladies and gents, is, well, now what we can do is we can do the same thing for all the others. For these sides, we can just remove that. See that, the good work of the opacity? That's exactly what it does. That's exactly what it's there for. Oh no, they're making it too bright. Nah, that's exactly how I want it. I wouldn't change it a single bit.
In engineering and structural planning, we possess things such as structural load, materials, and safety systems. Just like in the Unity platform engine, we possess things such as rigid body settings, movement speed, and timing intervals. So if the hitbox is unfair and people get frustrated, they can't explain why, you can tell that there could be problems with these things that are set in place when it comes to the physics of our platform within our 2D game.
What we're gonna do now is we're gonna duplicate this. Do you see how it changes when the color? Look at this. Do you see how the color changes when you put it down like this, up there? Bam! Full green. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of making it whole, I'm gonna erase these parts completely. Opacity, put it to 100. Erase it. I don't want more of this. I don't need more of this. I can just erase it like that. Just like that. And I'd say this is a good start. And then the next thing I can do is I can duplicate this again. And ooh, you see that? You see how it's full green? See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Now, once I do that, I'm gonna erase this part. I'm gonna call this a glowing circuit line. Essentially, what it's gonna be called is that. Erase this, erase this, erase this. Bam. Now that I got that done, you could kind of see how it all works and ties in together, right? So it starts off like this. Then it, So it starts off like this. Then it goes into this. And then it goes into that. Then it goes into this. I have to label these, bro, but I think you get the point. You can see how it's completing itself and how it's all coming in together. That's the main thing I need you to understand. Okay? Let me get this sorted out real quick.
So when it comes to a building and architecture, we know that there's permits and constraints. This can include building codes and legal requirements. But most importantly, we can call these zoning laws. For example, zoning laws as in how something would be spatially designed. Okay? And in game design, in 2D game design, This can relate to engine limitations and a frame rate consistency with the animations once they hop from a platform to the other, or whatever goes in between, which we'll be discussing next. So it's just like building codes.
This thing got lightning, right? Now, let me show you how it's going to be all the way from step 1. So, it starts out like a node like this, right? Our little circuit. Then it got these blue things around it. Then it got those things, you can see the power is coming. Now it's full. Now it's full. Now it's got the real color, and the electricity coming is like zap. Boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, 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 bop. Can you hear the music? Now all you gotta do now is you gotta find a way to put this into a sprite sheet. Is basically it, so that you can put it into Unity.
In structural construction with architecture, we have things such as a pouring foundation, framing, and especially roofing, which you have in the rooftops. So in game design, this can relate to importing our sprite sheets and trying to create the animations that would be able to do our game design per se. And when it comes to the sprite sheets, you really want to make sure that you're taking in proper frames that would guide the animation, as in every detail should be modified. When I'm jumping, every step of me jumping, the more frames for a certain movement, such as jumping, the cleaner I think that animation would be. Because that's just how efficiency is designed.
I'm gonna get these open. So we got a width around 100, height around 60. Last one we had width around 40 and height around 20. I'm gonna hit create. Let me see. Open this. Okay. Now what am I gonna do, ladies and gents? I'm gonna get all this. I'm gonna get all this, copy, Control C, or Command C if you're using a freaking Mac. Paste. The Macs are better, but I think you get it. We're gonna try to make the sprite sheet, y'all.
When it comes to the interior finishing and experience of our building, we want to make sure the lighting, interior design, atmosphere, and final inspections are really good. So when it comes to the platforms, we want to take into account the art style, the pixels that are in it, and also the sound effects. And of course the after images, sprite animations of the character, how they would be affected by that platform if you want to make one.
Alright, so after all that organizing, I finally got this glowing shit together. I'm gonna make it into a sprite sheet, basically. Bam! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7! Hooray! Let's see here. So we got the building, which is practically whatever you see. Skyscrapers, homes, whatever makes that building, alright? Then we got the environment. What surrounds the building. In other words, whatever makes the place look good and feel good. Then you got the flooring, which is whatever you put inside the building on the foundational floor, which is like the Right when you step in, you see the floor. Then you got the structural load, which is whatever is keeping that building up, is basically like the floors that are there in the buildings. Then you got zoning laws, which is basically how a map of wherever the building is, how it's all set up and laid out. All right. Then you got framing, which is basically how they make sure. I mean, besides structural load, it's how they make sure that it's built within the insides. They make the frame first, then they make sure they put the right amount of structural load. Then you got the interior design, which is basically however it looks inside your house. We got the castle right here, folks. In the castle, we got the bridges. And then we got the roofing, which is on the top of the castle. And then we got the walls, the things that surround that castle. Then we got the sewage, bro. Basically, all that sewage stuff go down to the ground. They get burned by the lava. And we turn that lava into electricity, which is basically what that entire down pillar that's down below is for. So you can live happily inside the castle.